Good evening, everyone. Thank you for taking our time to attend tonight's webinar. My name is Romi, and I'm the Product Strategy Manager at ISC, looking after our integrity products. Indeed, this is an exciting time for ISC to be going through these new features with you. As Sherry mentioned, the eNVD website was released back in 2017, and the app was released towards the end of 2022. And since release of the first version of the app, we have released a few iterations where we have continuously rolled out improvements through the mobile app. There's been a lot of enhancements done on the eNVD website to bring the interface in line with the mobile app. These enhancements have been designed in response to industry feedback to deliver a smoother user experience and also to improve accessibility across the supply chain. The new features that I'll be talking about will increase efficiency and convenience for all users across the supply chain. This includes the transporters, agents, sale yard, feedlot, and the processors. All of the new features that I'll be talking about today are applicable to both the mobile app and the eNVD website. However, it's the website that has gone through most of the significant changes. To gain access to eNVD, need to register for a myMLA account, and then you can start linking in your LPA or NLS account. So let me just jump into my screen and I will show you. So if you've already registered for a myMLA account, good. If not, this is where you need to go and register for one. I've already got a few test accounts, so I'll just log in to the myMLA system. I'll log in with one of my accounts. So after logging in, I will arrive on the myMLA dashboard. This is a brand new dashboard that MLA also released in November last year. On the MLA dashboard, you've got quick access to the MLA services, including eNVD, LPA, Analyze, MSA, MyFeedback, Kubernetes. If you haven't linked your LPA or Analyze accounts, all you need to do is just to go into link services up here, and then you click on the link mode services. So if I was to link any of my LPA accounts, I'll just click on LPA. That will take me to the LPA site. As you can see, I've already got 2 LPA accounts linked to my profile. If I wanted to link a third one, I just click on here, and that will allow me to get that third LPA account to my myMLA login. So I won't do that. Then if I was to link any of my Analyze accounts, I'll just click on Analyze. That will take me to the Analyze page where I can start linking Analyze accounts. I've got 2 Analyze accounts linked here. If I was to link any more accounts, all I need to do is just click on the link account, and I'll be able to link another account in there. So I won't link anymore. Leave it as it is. Come back onto the dashboard and go straight to eNVD. So just click on eNVD. That will take me to the eNVD homepage. So as I land on the homepage, there's a few things that are different from before. So now we have introduced this, this bit on the left here. If you've got more than one LPA accounts or Analyze accounts, we've given you the ability to switch between accounts. So as I showed you earlier, I had 2 LPA accounts. I had Analyze accounts. So they're all here. If I was to switch between different accounts, I'll just click on the next one. That will take me to the other account. All of my registered programs will be shown here based on which programs I'm accredited for. If I want to go into an Analyze account, I can do that as well. No registered programs, but it will show me all of my consignments. So you might notice that there's a few other accounts. There's a buyer account, there's a viewer account. These are just default accounts that we will assign to all eNVD users. So if you're buying stock from a sale yard, we will give you a buyer account as well. So that will allow you to sort of buy stock from the sale yard. So it's just to the continuation of the eNVD journey. So before we were stopping it at the sale yard. By having this feature rolled out, we can extend it to the final buyer. So if you're the final buyer, you can have lifetime traceability there. Viewer is basically anyone who does not have a PIC and would like to have access to account, in consignment, so you can link them as a viewer. I'll be talking about viewer later on in this session and then also next week. This section here is the moving today section. This is a brand new section that we've introduced on the web. Basically shows you all of the consignments that are moving today. So anything that's going off your property, coming onto your property will be shown here. Let me just change back to my LPA account. Now these ones are showing these are consignments that I've created as a producer, and they're going off my property. If I scroll down, this section here, you'll be very familiar with this section. This is where you will find all of your other consignments. So not restricted to this today. Anything that you have created last week, last month, or any future dated consignments, that'll be here. All of the ones that are, we show you this status. So submitted, there'll be some drafts. If you've got some drafts and some completed consignments, they'll all be here. We are giving you the ability to search through these consignments. So you can search using, if I wanted to search all my consignments for QEZZ9999, all of my consignments for this been sort of shown here. If I was to search by a name, for example, if I want to search by Smith, all of my consignments going to Smith or anything relating to Smith will be shown here. I can also search using a registration number for the truck. So EBC 123, that's the fake register number that I've created. All of my consignments to this transport company are listed over here. So you have the ability to search consignments. You have the ability to filter consignments. So you can filter by species, you can filter by the status of the consignment, or you can filter by a particular range. And we also give you the ability to sort through these consignments. You can sort by last updated, the movement date, or the created date. I'll just quickly jump into creating a consignment. So click on that. So when I'm creating a consignment, I've presented with two options. So I can start from scratch, or I can start from one of the templates that I've created. So I'll just use start from scratch. Now, when I'm starting a consignment, you'd probably be familiar with all of this. Nothing has pretty much changed here. We just added a few other features to this. So location where they're moving from. So this section will be auto-populated from your LPA profile. You are able to go in and change any of the, update any of this field, except for the PIC. The PIC is locked down to LPA profile. If you are the owner of the animals, fine. If you are not the owner, just click on that. You can add in the owner. So if I wanted to say QBZZ2222 is the owner, I can add the owner to this consignment. Now the next one is where they're being transported to. So this is where you enter your destination PIC. So we've given you the ability to search. So you can search through that. You know the destination PIC already. You can start by just typing it in. If you don't know, you can start by typing in like the name, but you probably won't be like the PIC register would probably be under the trading name or the business name or the property name. So you're not really sure. So this is probably one of the biggest challenges you'll come across, just to find the destination PIC. So the way across it is, here's a tip for you. So if you were to just pick up the phone, make a call to the destination and just ask them, what is your PIC? Make a note of that somewhere. And then you could enter that PIC in here, or just submit a consignment with the PIC, save it as a template. So next time you don't have to worry about, okay, what is the destination? You've got it saved as a template. So I'll just put in a, for example, I want to send it to CVLX, Central Victoria. livestock. So it's already found. I'll start typing in the name. If I'm typing the right thing, it will find it from the pick register. So I'll just select that. I'm sending it to the CVLX Saleyard in Victoria. Now the next one is, who are they being consigned to? So if I wanted to add my agent to this consignment, I'll just untick that box and I'll put down QAZZ7777. So this is one of the accounts I've dedicated to be like a agent account on our system. So I'll add my agent. Next, I will just put when are they being moved. So let's say they moved today, so 6 p.m. Select the species. So we have all the species. So select cattle. And then we get to the form. So if I want to create an NVD, all I need to do is just click on that. If I wanted to fill any additional form for this LPA account, I was accredited for MSA and also the health tech. I could, if I wanted to, I could choose to fill these forms as well. For the demonstration purpose, I won't do that. Any additional form that you like to fill, we will just ask you one set of questions and we will auto-populate the different forms. So we just made it a little bit easier for you. So click next. Then I will enter the livestock description. So number of heads, I'll just say 50 of the Santa steers. Do I want to draw brain? I'll just say no and I type it in. Say 50 head, 0 Roman tags. Edit. So I've got that livestock description. If I wanted to add a second description, I'll just click on this button and hit that. Click on next. Then I get into answering the questions on the form. So have the livestock been owned since birth? If I say yes, good. If I have said no, any sub-questions based on the response I provide, the sub-questions will return. If I haven't owned them since birth, then I need to tell them, okay, I've owned them for more than 12 months. And also we've got this question mark here. So this is just explanatory notes. So if you're not sure what that question is about, you just click on that. It brings up this explanatory note, gives you a bit more context what the question is and how you're supposed to be answering the question. So just go next. Getting into the food safety questions. So I'll just say no to this question, no animal fats. Now this question here, in the past 60 days, have any of the cattle been fed with byproduct stock feed? So this is where we can start adding attachments about like the food safety question. So if I said yes, it brings up this place where I can start attaching documents. So I can add a byproduct stock feed. I'll just say product 1. And I'm able to upload 5 files. The allowed file formats are PDF, PNG, HEIC, and they can be up to 5 megabytes. So I choose one of the files from my computer. Let's just use this one. And one was the date that I last fed it. So let's say sometime in September. Now I've attached that file in here, but if I just wanted to make sure if I've attached the right form, I just click on this link. It will render that file that I just attached on my computer, on the browser. Yes, this is the file I wanted to teach, so all good. I just hit close that button, and then if I want to add a second one, I do the same. Just click on add another. So I can do product 2. As I mentioned, you are able to upload 5 files. So I'll just add an image, for example. As well. So I've added 2 of those attachments. Next question, I'll just say no to this. Go next. Now I'm getting into the chemical treatments questions. So I'll just quickly answer no to all of them. I go to the next page. As I'm progressing to the consignment, the system is automatically saving this as a draft. So if I was to ever hit this summary page, it has saved this consignment as a draft. I didn't even have to click on the save draft. System has automatically saved it as a draft. So something was to happen, I close this browser and reopen it, I'll find this in my drafts. So now I'm on the declaration page. This information on this declaration page will be auto-populated from your LPA profile. So I'll just sign this declaration. I'll give my phone number, my email address. I'll keep this thing that I've read and understood the terms. Now this is here, this section here is where you'll add any other documents that you'd like to attach to the consignment. So if you have any permits that you would like to add, just click on this add document so you can attach your other documents. So I'll just say I want to add a permit number 1, Sydney, expiry date of the permit, expires sometime in June, and I can upload the file. So again, I can upload up to 5 documents here. Allowed file formats are JPEG, PDF, PNG, HEIC. Let me just find one. I'll just attach this capital declaration. Again, I can click on this link, see what document have I attached, to make sure I'm not attaching any wrong documents. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Close this. Continue filling the consignment. So any additional information. So if you want to declare that your consignment is antibiotic free, you can put it down here, antibiotic free. Sorry. Antibiotic free. Next. Now I'm on the transporter page, which is an optional information if you wanted to continue filling that, or you can basically at this page, I can submit the consignment as it is. I can save it as a draft, or I could just link in my transporter. So if I wanted to add my transporter, all I need to do is to put the transporter's registered email address. So the transporter needs to register with myMLA system and complete the eNVD profile and declare that they are livestock carrier. So as long as they've done that, you should be able to add the transporter email address here. So IC transporter gmail.com is one of my test transporter accounts. So I've added that email ID here. This way I've linked this transporter to this consignment. So that transporter logs into the eNVD system. He'll be able to access this consignment. So now I'm done. I can submit. As I hit the submit button, I'm reminded there's only 3 sections that I can update after submitting. So I can change the movement date and time. I can update the livestock description. I can update the transporter details. So I'm happy with that. Submit it. Okay. So once I've submitted the consignment, I'm taken to this consignment summary page. So this is a new page we've introduced on the website as well, where we show you a bit of information about the consignment. So we show you who's the livestock owner, where it's moving from, where it's moving to, what's included in the consignment, what are the forms. So I only selected eNVD. If I did an eNVD MSA, I'll see 3 serial numbers here. And then this section here, we just basically break the consignment up into different sections and show you how complete the consignment is. So movement section, forms, livestock, right down to the transporter section. So I've answered all of my mandatory questions. So I've got a tick next to each of these sections. So this basically tells me on a high level, this consignment is fully complete. If I left out any of the mandatory questions, this section would have like a instead of it will be a red exclamation mark. As I mentioned, that there are 3 sections that I'm able to edit after submitting a consignment. So I can edit the movement section if I want to change the movement date. I can make changes to the livestock description. So if I was to change that, just click on edit. I click on edit here again. Say while loading, we found out only 49 could be loaded instead of 50. So I just update it to 49, hit, and then hit on save changes. So that has saved the changes on the consignment. So now it's 49 heads in here. I can also make changes to the transport section. So if I was to add, like update the transporter, click on that. If I didn't want this transporter transporting this consignment, I can remove him. I can change that email address. I can add additional drivers if I wanted to. So I can do all of that. We'll cover more on transporters in the next webinar, but I'm just showing you quickly. That's where you can go and edit the transporter section. The comments feature, basically, we've been hearing a lot from the supply chain that there needs to be a communication where people can communicate with each other. So we've introduced this comments feature, basically to replace the note-taking feature that happened on paper. So for example, if the transporter was not going to meet the producer at the time of collection, producer can just write a comment. Animals are left in the southern yard. So transporter can leave this comment. Once the transporter leaves this comment, it cannot be edited or deleted. And the character limitation is 256. So he can leave a comment. Anyone who's been linked to this consignment would be able to see this comment. So the transporter is able to see it, the receiver is able to see it, the agent is able to see it, the owner is able to see it. So we've linked all of them to this consignment. So all of them are able to see it. If I was to go up, this section here, consignment viewers. This is another brand new feature that we've released, basically allowing you to add any other people to this consignment. So if they if they don't hold a pick, you can still add them as a viewer. So all you need to do is, as long as they've got a myMLA registered email ID, you can add them to this consignment. So for example, if you wanted to add your accountant, or if you are in Queensland and your agent does not have a pick, you can add the agent as a viewer. So I've just got some test accounts. So ISC viewer, viewer 4, email.com. So I can add this person as a viewer. Now Ashley Holland has got access to this consignment as well. So now I've got 6 people who can access this consignment: the owner, the creator, who I am, the destination, the agent, transporter, and the viewer. Ashley Holland can also view this consignment. There's no limit to the number of viewers you can add to the consignment. You can add as many as you want. Now, this button here, generate PDF. So this is when you want to view this information in the paper form. So if I was to click on that, basically it will render all of that information that I've input digitally to the paper form that you are familiar with. So all of the sections are complete. And if I was to scroll down, any additional forms would be completed, attached in here. Those attachments that are added to the consignment, so this one here, and then this image that I attach as well, and then the cattle permit, they're all over here. So everything that I attach will stay with the consignment for the rest of its life. Nothing is going to get lost, and it will be accessible to all parties who have got access to this consignment. If I was to share this consignment with somebody from my computer, all I need to do is click on share. This is the public URL. I just on this. Now it says public URL has been copied. I just jump into my email client and I start a new email, paste that link, and then send it off to anyone. So anyone who's got that link, they click on it, they'll basically end up on this page where it shows this PDF, the paper form. Now I will just go back to the consignment summary page. So we have some options as well. After submitting the consignment, we have presented some of these options. So I can save this. If this is a frequently moving consignment, I can save it as a template. I can duplicate this consignment. So if I want exactly same details, I can just click on this button. It will create a duplicate of this consignment. I can generate a PDF, which is the paper form. I can add viewers. I can comment. I can delete consignment. So as I mentioned, there were 3 sections that you can make changes to. If you need to change any of the other sections, so for example, one of these chemical treatment questions you answered incorrectly, you're not able to make changes to it. So the advice is that you go into the options, you duplicate the consignment, so you get a copy of it. Then you make those changes, whatever, answer those questions correctly, submit it, then come back to the consignment, delete it. So that way, we're just making it easier for you, so you don't have to fill out everything from scratch. Duplicate first, complete the consignment, back to this consignment, and delete it. So I'll just go back to this screen, and then all of these features, I can do it from my mobile app as well. I'll just jump into my mobile app, and I'll start sharing screen from there. Okay. So on the mobile app, it's pretty much the same. Open up the app, accept the privacy policy in the terms of use, log in. I can log in as a guest user, but if I do that, I will be given just very limited functionality. So pretty much just the QR code scanning ability, and I can't be saving any consignments in the guest mode. So the advice is you register for myMLA account, and then you set yourself up with the eNVD account. That way, nothing will ever get lost. So you log in with myMLA user as a myMLA user. If I haven't already signed up, there's a sign up button there, but I've got some accounts, so I'll just log in with the same account. I'll just select the same account from my list. As you can see, I've got quite a few accounts. It's a bit of a challenge trying to find my right account. Let me see where it is. Here we go. Okay, so log in with this account. Okay, so as I log in, the app it's syncing with the backend. So basically what it's doing, it's looking for any offline changes and also updating from the app to the web and pulling down any changes done on the website to the app. So it doesn't take that long to sync. But if you've got a lot of accounts linked to your LPA myMLA login, then the amount of time varies depending on how many accounts you've got linked to your myMLA login. On average, it takes about between 1 to 2 minutes to sync. So now it's finished syncing. Same deal here. So I've got on the top here, I've got my carousel. So I can swipe left and right to go into different accounts. So I've got QCZZ, I've got a QDZZ, and I've got a NLS account. I've got a Saliat account, I've got a buyer account, and a viewer account. So the middle section moving today will change depending on which account you are and what consignments you've got moving today. The bottom options are also like you have seen before. They're there. So if I wanted to just go into view, I've got all of the consignment. The consignment that I just created is right on the top there. If I wanted to create a new consignment, I just go create from a template. Let's just choose one of my templates, which is this one here. When I choose a template, it just shows, okay, these are the information on this template. If I'm happy with it, I can say, yes, use this. So on this template, I've had the owner added there already. So QDZZ3333 is the owner. I'm the source. The animals are moving off my property, QCZZ8888. I'll go next. Where are they going to? So it's going to QEZZ9999. So I'm happy with that. And then on this consignment, I've also added the supply to, which is the consignee. So QAZZ777. So that's my agent. So all of them are there. I'll just go next. I need to provide the movement times and date. So let's say it's moving tomorrow, 13th of March, select the time. That says 7:46 a.m. Next. So this was a cattle template. So that species is already selected. The forms are already selected. And then the answers are already pre-filled. So if I'm not sure about any of the questions, all I need to do is tap on the question mark. It will bring up the explanatory note telling me what that question is about and how I should be answering that. So I've got all of these pre-filled. This question here is about the byproduct stock feed. So in the past 60 days, any of the cattle been fed byproduct stock feed? I say yes. And then I can upload up to 5 files, same as the website, 5 files, 5 megabytes each, and JPEG, PDF, PNG, HEIC. So let's just say product 1. Product 1. It was fed sometime in February. And I click on this, upload a file. So let's just choose this one. Okay. And then I'll just continue checking the responses I've provided for the rest of the questions. If I'm happy with that, I'll leave it as it is, or I can make changes if I want to. Next is the livestock description. So let's just say I'm moving 64 Angus, steers. They have 64 analyzed tags, 0 Roman devices. I can type a brand if I want to. Let's say the X. If I want to draw a brand, I can draw a brand as well. Next. Now here I can attach any of the other documents that needs to travel with this consignment. So if I've got a tick permit, so that's fine. This information was populated from my template. I can upload the tick permit. That's a cattle tick permit. Next. Oops, I think I hit it pretty quickly. Let it finish uploading. Yep, done. Additional information, I can say, yeah, antibiotic free if I want to do that. Next. Then I get to the final summary. I'm happy with all of that. It still needs to be signed. So I get to the declaration page. All of my information would be pulled from my LPA profile. So if I'm happy with that, I can go ahead and sign this document. Signed it. Next. And now I've got the option to enter the transporter details, or I can save it as a draft, or I could submit it without the transporter details. I can come back and add transporter details later if I want to. So let's just go enter transporter details. This is my transporter email ID. If I'm happy with that, that's fine. I don't need to do anything else. If I'm at the yards and I'm working working out of coverage, and the transport, I'm meeting the transporter at the yard. Now, you probably won't be able to submit this consignment and get it to the transporter's device electronically like that. But what we advise you to do is, if you're at the yards and there's no internet there, get the transporter to fill in the transporter section on your device. So you can just say, Joe driver, vehicle registration number ABC 123. Transporter's phone number 0412345678. Get the driver to sign it on your device. Save it. It's getting moved tomorrow. Time of movement doesn't really, yeah, okay, so that's the time. And get the driver to tick this box here. So he's the person in charge of the livestock during the movement. So do that. So that way we've at least captured all of the transporter details electronically on your phone. Now you can submit this consignment and then just share by QR code. So that way at least the driver can get a full copy of the consignment on his device while you're both out of coverage, and then he can be off on his journey. We're just making sure that he's. So basically you just go in here, bring up share by QR code, brings up those QR code menu. What the driver needs to do is open up the app on his device, tap on receive. That basically opens up the camera and it's looking for QR code. So he'll be able to scan that and get a copy of this consignment on his device while you're both out of coverage. So if he's having difficulties trying to scan that, he can reduce the granularity. So just go to medium or low. It just increases the number of QR codes that you need to scan, but all of the information is the same information. So I'll just go back there. So that's one of the ways you can share the consignment with the driver while you're offline. So if you're online, there's more options available to you to share consignment. So this is the consignment we created. If I was to open it up, if I wanted to add a viewer, you can do that here as well. So just tap on that. I'll add the viewer on my mobile app. ISC viewer. Five. That's my other test account for viewers. Save that. So now I've given Williamson Rural Marketing access to this consignment as well. So we have done that. Now you might be wondering, like, okay, you are both in coverage. You want to share this with your driver by SMS or email. How do you do that? So basically you go into your view screen, you pick a consignment. So the top consignment, this consignment, I go back, tap on the three dots in the top right corner. That will bring up some consignment options. We've got, you can create this you can save this as a template. You can duplicate this consignment. You can add viewer, which we just did. You can add comments. You can generate a PDF. You can share by QR code, and you can share by URL. So if I was to tap on share URL, it brings up the share app tray, and I can SMS this to anyone if I wanted to. So for example, if I tap on messages, basically it will SMS a link to the PDF to anyone I wanted to share it with. So let's just say I'm going to share it with myself. SMS myself. So I would have received a message. Here you go. If I click on that, this is the consignment on the mobile app. My attachments are there as well. So they all will be shared. I don't need to worry about losing any of that information. So I can do the same, tap on that. I can email it to anyone if I wanted to. I can SMS it to anyone. If I wanted to generate a PDF, if I click on that, I can save it to my files. let's say I want to save it to my files. If I go into my files, this is the file that I just saved on my phone. So I could attach this to an email as well and send it off to someone who wants to get a copy of this. So all of these options are available to you. And worst case scenario, if your driver or your receiver is asking for a paper copy, you can send this to a printer as well. So, sorry, just tap on the three dots, generate PDF, and I can say print, and it will send it to a printer on my, attached to my Wi-Fi network. So if I'm at home or in the office, I've got this phone connected to a Wi-Fi printer, Wi-Fi hotspot, and my printer is also connected to the same one. I can easily send a copy to my printer and print this off. So yeah, so those are some of the features from the mobile app and the web.